Breaking news to start with. We're taking you live to Kerrville, Texas, where US President Donald Trump is touring the disaster zone after last week's fatal flooding.
First responders and assisted or enabled more than 1,500 rescues. Amazing, 1,500. Customs and Border Protection and the U.S. Coast Guard have deployed numerous search and rescue crews, and they're all over the territory, and trauma teams. And beyond this area, you know, the governor was saying we've gone a little bit beyond this area. Oh, there's Dr. Phil. Look at Dr. Phil. You're looking good, Phil. This is a hell of a situation, isn't it, huh? FEMA has deployed multiple emergency response units, and FEMA has been really headed by some very good people. We have some good people running FEMA. It's about time, right? We get some good ones. They failed us in North Carolina, but when we got in January 20th, they fixed it up in no time. And the Army Corps of Engineers is always around and always strong and brilliant. We're also taking historic action to ensure that such a nightmare never happens again. And we're going to look and see how can a thing like this, they could say it's a 100-year. Somebody said it's a 500-year event. It doesn't. We're not going to let a thing like this happen again where it can wreak this kind of devastation. Earlier this year, I directed a sweeping review of the preparedness and critical infrastructure. I think, again, I have to say, whenever I say that, I have to say that the level of professionalism was incredible. But we'll all work together to find out exactly what can be done, because they do want to rebuild, and they're going to. I just want to say we have a wonderful First Lady, and she's done a great job as First Lady, and she really very special woman when she saw and met the people that we met just a little while ago. It's very devastating. And would you like to say a few words, honey?
My deepest sympathy to all of the parents who lost beautiful young souls. Deepest sympathy from all of us to the community, to everybody who lost a loved one. We are grieving with you. Our nation is grieving with you. We just met with the wonderful families. We pray with them. We hug. We hold hands. They shared the stories, and I met beautiful young ladies. They gave me this special bracelet from the camp in honor of all of the little girls that they lost their lives. So we are here to honor them and also to give the support, help, and I will be back. I promise to them, and I just pray for them and giving them my strength and love.
Thank you, honey. It's very nice. Thank you very much. So I just want to say God bless you all, and I'd like to ask Governor Abbott to say a few words, please. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, First Lady. The first thing both of you mentioned were the lives that were affected by this. Whenever there's a disaster or catastrophe, the first thing we focus on is saving lives, prioritizing those lives. Every minute, every hour counts, and that's what Chief Nim Kidd focused on, what the local officials focused on, what the state focused on, but also what your administration did. On the very day of the flood, you know, the Coast Guard literally saving lives right and left, and we cannot thank you enough for deploying the Coast Guard, deploying the resources, and as you pointed out, immediately when I made a request for a disaster declaration, you and your administration granted that. This is the fastest that I'm aware of any administration responding so swiftly, so collaboratively, so coordinated as we have in response to this. Thank you for that major disaster declaration. It ensures that we're going to be able to more effectively respond and help rebuild. And let me make one thing clear about the Hunt store. We will rebuild the Hunt store very quickly right here in Hunt, Texas.
Thank you, Governor.
Also, I too want to thank all the first responders. And we have many of our legislators over here. I want to thank them for stepping up and being here constantly, as well as state officials who join with us. And as we've said before, we remain committed. We're here for the long run. We will maintain our operations to search and find everybody that we can, as well as ensure that we're going to rebuild this community from Hunt to Camp Mystic, to Kerrville, down below. We are committed for the long run, not just to rebuild, but to rebuild in a better way. I have received a lot of detail, even from the president himself, about ways that we can do a better job in the rebuilding process. And we will put all of that to work. We have a special session beginning in 10 days when we're going to start working legislatively to make sure that we address every challenge that the people of this entire region, including the Central Texas region, make sure we help rebuild the families and communities of all of them. But we would not have been able to do that the way that we have had it not been for you, your commitment to Texas. I know you love Texas, and Texas loves you. We appreciate you showing up, and because of your swift and effective response, we're better positioned to deliver on all those commitments than ever before.
Thank you, Governor. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Christy, would you like to say something? Fantastic job you've done.
Well, Mr. President, I just want to thank you for coming and being here today, and to our First Lady as well. Your heart is evident for the people of Texas, and by you coming here and spending the day and taking the time to spend so much time with the families, I've spoken with many of them over the last several days, and they're so grateful for you that not only are you here to come and walk alongside of them, but to spend time with them and to deploy resources to help support the governor and his team, I think has meant the world, not just to those that are making the decisions, but to all of those down to the ones who have lost their children and are those who are still looking for their children. So that's the hardest part about the situation we have here today, sir, is that when you have a disaster like this, I believe this is an unprecedented event. I haven't heard in my knowledge, know of a flood that happened like this before. So, you know, in our experience, we know that it's at least a 1 in 1,000 year flood that hit this area in an unprecedented way. And emergencies and disasters are always locally executed. The state manages them, and then the federal government comes in and supports that. What we are doing here, sir, is empowering the state and the local officials to make the best decisions for their people, because they know their people, they know their community, and when they ask, then we come in and support them. So thank you for being a president who trusts people, who lets them use the responsibility that they have to make the best decisions for their families, for their communities, and we come in and we support them in that. So I can't thank you for helping us making such quick decisions, for Nim and his team, and the governor is absolutely fantastic. Every time I picked up the phone and was here, the lieutenant governor was available, the entire team, the Coast Guard and the Border Patrol were absolute amazing resources on the ground immediately, and we've had over 700 different FEMA employees and volunteers here as well that are engaged, and so all of your assets that you have as a federal government are deployed to help this community restore, but also to heal. I would just ask everybody in the room to remember to love on each other too, and to tell stories and memories, and that's how. The greatest fear when you lose someone in your life is that people will forget them. So tell the stories that you knew, and write them down and remember them, because nobody wants their loved one that they don't have anymore to ever be forgotten.
Thanks, Christy. Appreciate it. Nim, would you say a few words, please?
Thank you,
Done
Mr.
a fantastic
President.
job working with Christy and everybody else. Thank you. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. Thank you both for being here. Our hearts are broken, but they fuel the engine that drives this response for this community.